I'm going to continue the story about last night, just a little bit. So, I talked about the guy buying the pizza. Before that happened, an old man came up in his car. He had called me really early in the morning the same day when I was still on shift to have me come pump his gas because he's disabled. But today he needed to come in and use the bathroom, so he had to actually get out of the car. And it took him like 10 minutes to get out of the car. He's really mobility impaired, like severely. And then with his walker, went to use the bathroom, but didn't make it and made a mess on the floor and went and cleaned his pants off in the bathroom. And I'm not worried about the mess. I was just really worried about him because I found out he's homeless. He lives in that car. He's just, because he can't work anymore, he got evicted from his apartment. And it just makes me wonder, like, is this how we treat our elderly? I mean, I've always known this is how we treat people in America, but it just seems like extra bad when it's really in your face like that. And I still worry about him. I keep thinking about this guy, but he was in the bathroom for like 45 minutes, and I kept thinking maybe I should go check on him, but I was like, no, he probably needs some privacy, and he'll yell if he needs help. I was definitely listening for a holler, but he was okay. So during the time that he was in the bathroom, the titled guy came in, demanded change for a 50, which I didn't have. Then restaurant guy came in and gave me a tuna melt and a cookie, which I later ate, and it was amazing. And then after that, a couple more people came in that seemed sketch at first, but they're just hanging out, and they knew the old guy with the car, and so they were waiting for him to get out of the bathroom. And then once he did, the lady went in to go and like wash up and stuff, and she was in there for another 40 minutes. I was late getting started on all my cleaning stuff because people were just hanging out for a really long time. To the point that actually the police came by just to check on me and make sure I was okay. And I had to reassure them, like, yeah, nothing's going on. They're just hanging out and talking. There's no problem. As far as I know, I don't think there's anything going on. And they were out there for quite a while after I closed as well. They all knew each other, so I think they were helping the old guy out, which I appreciate. This is gonna be how my life ends too, isn't it? Oh man. But then in the morning, so the morning after I open at 4:30, this lady comes in with her dog in a baby stroller and is like babying the dog and is talking to me about how her kids don't respect her. And granted, things that she says her kids did, like steal her car, are pretty bad. They're pretty bad. But to be honest with you, if all of your kids act like that towards you with such disrespect, I feel like somewhere along the lines you did something, because if it was just one kid who got in with a bad crowd, you know, I would kind of understand. But like, but still, I empathized with her, even though she was like saying like I'm gonna write the kids out of the will, and I hate them. I love my dog more than I love my kids, and I'm like, oh my god, how can you say that? I feel like there's nothing that my daughter could do to me to make me say that I hate her like that. Even if she did steal my car, she's still my daughter. I'd be really disappointed and angry, but hate is a strong word. So then today, today, today was kind of nuts, actually. I mean, it was like a relatively slow night for a Friday, but it was all people that wanted to hang out and chat with me. So I had this different old guy with a cool looking walking stick that I've seen around town a lot. And he likes to come and just chat. And he said he came to check on me tonight because he saw other people hanging around last night, and he saw the cops come by and was like, "Hey, are you okay?" Which is kind of funny. I think it's funny that people care about me enough at this point that they come and check on me or just come to say hi. Restaurant guy with the rainbow glasses came again. He's legitimately my favorite customer. For real, favorite. It's hard to pick a favorite, but if you bring me food, that's my favorite. But no food tonight, but still it was really cool seeing him, and I got to tell him that I ate the sandwich and I liked it, and he was super happy about that. I like making people food too, so I totally understand where he's coming from there. Unfortunately, none of the people that I live with seem to like the kind of food that I want to make. So I'm stuck just making very basic, generic things like mac and cheese, pasta with butter, because heaven forbid you put any pepper in that pasta or my child will not eat it. I feel like anytime I experiment and make something that's really good to me, no one else wants to eat it. But it's just because I like different flavors and I like spice. I like spicy things and I like things that have unique flavors to it. Some people don't, and that's okay. Everyone has their personal preferences, you know? Then after he came in, another guy who is another one of my favorite regulars, but he does not bring me food. He came in on a skateboard. This dude is 40 years old. 40. Which honestly I wouldn't have guessed. But the first time I checked his ID, I was like, no way. He came in with his roommate, and they were both on skateboards. And he goes, "This is Kitty. She's really great." I was like, "Oh, thank you." Such a strange thing to say about a gas station cashier, but this is Kitty. She's really great. Thank you. But listen, if Tony Hawk is still skateboarding, you're not too old. A lot of people trying to come in after hours tonight. Probably people not from the area, because people from here are very familiar with stores closing at night. There's like only one store that I can think of that's actually open 24 hours, and it's a grocery store. Look how neat and organized and beautiful that looks. Yeah, I did that. And then I had another lady pay for gas in almost entirely in pennies. It ended up being it was $4.33. Almost all of it was pennies. It took about It took a good 5 minutes for the two of us to sit there counting, and I was going two by two. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 10 cents, and then I would do a 50-cent pile, and then once there was two 50-cent piles, we put them together. That's $1. Whew. I do this quite a lot, actually. And I really don't mind it, especially if there's not a line behind you. Yeah, give me your coins. I'll take them. It helps me fill the change machine anyway. Honestly, it was getting really low on pennies, and I might have needed to get some out of the safe. So, you helped me out. Now I have a very full change machine, and I'm actually pretty happy about that. Well, I guess that's it for tonight's video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Have a good weekend.